Hello guys and welcome back to my channel Interview with Bunny, and today I'm not back with another system designing video. Rather, I'm back with something very important that you have already seen in my thumbnail, and that is how I cracked both Google as well as the Microsoft interview within the 6 months of preparation. So in this video I will be covering each and every detail that you need to know for appearing on this type of interview, starting from what are the processes, means what are the interview process, what will be the timeline for the interview, what is the expectation on each and every rounds of the interview, how you will be judged on each and every interview round, as well as the resource material and the tips and tricks that you should follow to crack any such type of interview. So without wasting much time, let's get started with today's video, and believe me, this will be a very much resourceful video, and I will try to cover each and every possible questions that might can come into your mind before appearing for this type of interview. So without wasting much time, let's get started with today's video, that is the roadmap or the guidance that how you can clear all this type of interview without any failure. So let's get started. So the first and the foremost topic that I would like to cover in this video, that is what are the steps or what are the interview process that you will be going through if you get a call from the hiring manager or from the hiring team. So the first I will cover the Google interview, and followed by that I will be covering the Microsoft one. So the first and the foremost is the steps for the interview with Google. So if you are appearing for the Google interview, you will probably be facing 5 to 6 round of technical interview. So the first one will be the screening round. But before that, I want to tell you that how I got the call for the Google interview. So basically I have applied on the Google career portal. So if you go to the Google and if you type on the career on Google, you will be getting a page where all the job description and all the open position will be available. So by that only I have applied for the same. So the position for which I have applied for was for the senior software engineer role. And if I remembered it clearly, after a month or so, I got a call from the hiring manager that your profile got selected for this role and we want to schedule an interview process with you. So that was the first step, that how I have applied for a Google position. Clear? Once you get a call from the hiring manager are very helpful. So this is not the first time I was appearing for the Google interview. Prior to this, I have also appeared one time. So I already have a prior knowledge that how the process normally took place. But the hiring HR was very helpful, and he explained me each and every steps that I will be going forward in the upcoming days. Along with that, he also have shared few of the documentation and the resources that might be needed to crack all this interview. So do not worry, I will be sharing also those necessary details and the links once I am done with this video. So the hiring agent gave me ample amount of time for the preparation. So for example, he called me on a January and he gave me around 3 months of preparation time before appearing for the screening round. So if you get a call from the Google, do not worry, you will get ample amount of time for the preparation, and it is totally up to you that whenever you feel confident about the interview, then only you can appear for the interview. There is no hard and fast rule, or there will be no pressure from your hiring HR that you should cover or you should appear for the screening rounds as soon as possible. So it's totally up to you that how much time it is needed you can take. So the first round was the screening round, and how it took place, it was a one-to-one interview with one of the Google interviewer. Now, what are the question he have asked and how you should prepare? We will go through this a bit later. But once you clear the screening round, after a couple of weeks or so, your hiring HR will again call you back that you have cleared the screening round and we want to proceed with your first round of interview. So at that time, again, you will get some more time that when you want to appear for your interview round. So after the first screening round, I again got another month or so for appearing for my first round of interview. So my first interview took place on one of the week, and post that on the second week, the second interview took place, and thereafter the next week, the third interview took place. So here you can understand that there are a lot of times that you will get for your preparation. And thereafter, if you clear all these 3 rounds of interview, you will be proceeding further with your fourth round, and that is the system designing round. So the first three round was a pure data structure and algorithm round where you will be asked everything regarding the data structure and algorithm and what are the questions they will be asked or what are the pattern. We will cover it again very soon. And your fourth round, that is the system designing round, also will take place after a month. At least it had happened with me that after I have given my third round of interview, after a month I have appeared for my system designing round. Clear? And once all the five rounds are done, there again after 2 weeks I got the call from my hiring HR that you have cleared all the rounds and you can appear for your next round of interview, and that is the googliness interview, which is a purely managerial type of round where you will be asked all the questions like whether you are fit for the organization also. So these are more or less all the main round you have to clear first before proceeding to your seventh round, and that is the team matching round, which is more or less the last round where some of the hiring manager will call you directly and you will be assigned to a particular team. Clear? So this was the process and the timeline for the Google interview round. So I hope you are clear with how the process or what is the timeline that the Google interview process actually follows. And believe me, this entire process takes around 4 to 6 months to come to a conclusion. So it's a huge span of time that you have to keep on giving interview with Google. So I hope you right now are clear with how this interview takes place. Now we will move forward with the next interview process, and that is the Microsoft interview process. And once I'm done with that, I will again come back to this Google interview and I will tell you that what are the type of question you can expect during that interview, what can be the expectations over there, what are the questions that you should solve before appearing to that interview, and everything. So let's move to our next slide, and that is the timeline for the Microsoft interview. So for the Microsoft interview, the process was not that much lengthier. It only takes a month or so to complete the entire process. So before starting that, let me tell you that how I got the call for the Microsoft also. So for the Microsoft also, I have applied on the career profile of the Microsoft. And once I have applied, after a week or so, I got a call from the recruiter that your profile got selected and we will like to proceed with the interview process. And the first and the foremost round was the screening round. And in case of the Microsoft, you won't be getting that much amount of time for the preparation. So if I remember it correctly, I got the interview call from the hiring agent around a Wednesday or so. And on the next week, on the next Tuesday or Wednesday, I got the first round, that is the screening round. And unlike Google, this screening round was an offline round. Means you have to solve a question on the HackerRank platform, and once you clear that, you will be proceed further with the next round of interview. And all the rounds, both in the Microsoft as well as the Google, before you are reaching the hiring manager, all of them are elimination round. Means if you fail in one of the interview, you are eliminated over there. Clear? Now let's proceed further with the second round of interview, that is the interview one. So after I have cleared this first round, that is the screening round, after a day or two, I again got a call from the hiring agent that you have cleared the screening round. We would like to proceed further with your main interview process. And in Microsoft, I have seen that all the 3 or 4 rounds of interview actually takes place on a single day. So you have to be 100% prepared for all type of interviews if you are appearing for the Microsoft one, because in Microsoft here you have major 3 rounds of interview. One, the first one is the DSA algo, the next one is the LLD round, means the low level designing, and the third round is the high level designing. And if you clear all 3 rounds, means all of them, then only you will get call for the next round, and that is the hiring manager round. So in my case, what had happened, the first 2 rounds, that is the interview 1 and interview 2, took place on the single day, and the third round was scheduled on the next day, because if I remember, the interview had taken place on a Friday. So after clearing the first 2 rounds, that is the first round and the second round, there was no available panel to take my third round of interview, and that is why on the next week the third round took place for me. But it can easily happen that all three rounds of interview will be done on the single day. And all these rounds, which I'm telling right now, are applicable for the senior role, that is the senior software engineer role, or maybe for the next staff engineering role. So if you are appearing as only as a software engineer, you might be facing one or two interview round lesser than the senior role. So that is totally subjective, and I'm not sure that how many rounds actually takes place for a junior role. So here, as I was telling you, once I have cleared all the three rounds of interview, that is the DSA, LLD as well as the HLD round, then again after a week I got a call from my hiring HR that you have cleared all the rounds and we want to proceed further with your hiring manager round. So on the next week, I got scheduled for my next interview round, that is the hiring manager. So if you look carefully, the Microsoft interview process only takes a maximum 1 to 2 weeks, not more than that. And once I have cleared the hiring manager round, thereafter I got the call from the HR that you have cleared all your interview process. Now we have to discuss about all the necessary steps, means all the compensation and all the other things that are needed. So this is what the timeline of the Microsoft and the Google interview all about. So I hope you are clear right now that how the interview process of both this round actually takes place. Now we will discuss something important and very important, that what is the expectation of the interviewer from each and every round, and we will start with the Google interview process. So as I was telling you, the first round is the screening round. And in screening round, this is a one-to-one interview process with one of your Google interviewer. Mostly the interviewer will be in a junior role or he will be a senior software engineer, not more than that. Now let me tell you how the screening round actually takes place. So before appearing for the screening round, your hiring HR will obviously guide you that how you should face this type of question. That is, when you are getting a particular question from the Google interviewer, you should not jump into the solution, because most of the questions that are provided on the Google are quite vague or the high level, means you have to discuss with your interviewer that what is the actual expectation of the question, means what is the expected output and everything. So for example, for the screening round, the question that you will be facing is more or less from the LeetCode medium section, but just by seeing the question you should not jump into the solution, because it might can happen that they have changed the question a bit, or it is not advisable that once you get the question you go into the solution, because this is totally a discussion round, means you have to discuss the problem statement with your interviewer, means what is the expectation of the output, because as I was telling you, whenever you will get a question from the Google, in most of the cases the input and the output is not given. So you have to discuss with your interviewer that what type of input you should be expecting in this problem statement, what should be the possible output also you have to give, and moreover what will be the edge cases. So for example, you are given a problem with strings, so what happens if you get a string that is empty, or if the string is null. So all those edge cases you have to discuss first with your interviewer, and once you are done with the discussion of the question, means once you are clear that what is the expected input and the output of the problem statement, then you have to give him the idea or the algorithm by which you probably want to solve that problem. And remember, first discuss with your interviewer that what are the possible solutions that you can think of at that time, and if your interviewer agrees that the solution is perfect and you can proceed further, then only go with the coding process. But before that, it will be simply a normal pen and paper discussion with your interviewer that if this is the input, how you will be operating with each of the input statement and how you will be generating the possible outcome. So the first 10 to 15 minutes, you have to keep in mind that it will be a complete discussion with your interviewer. And once he gives you a green signal that he is fine with the algorithm, then only proceed with the solution. Clear? So this is the general behavior of each and every round of the interview. Now specifically, how was the experience on the screening round? So for me, the screening round was very helpful, because it was completely a feedback providing round. Means once the interviewer have given me the question, by following all the things that my hiring HR have told. I have discussed and everything. I have given him the possible solution. And then after he told me to write the code. And once I have written down the code and I have shown him all the possible outcomes and everything, after that you have to possibly run the same code with few of the possible inputs that you can think of. So remember, once you have written down the solution of the problem, post that you have to run few of the input statements and you have to check that whether all the possible inputs are giving the required outputs or not. And remember, try to cover all the edge cases that are possible, because if you miss any of the edge cases, then it is possibly a red signal for the interview panel. Clear? So be clear that whenever you are telling your interviewer that you are done with the code, your actual code should run and it should be production ready. So once you are submitting your code, there should be no compilation as well as the logical error. So the expectation of this round was to give a production ready code. Now the next question is where you have to run the code. So for that, the Google will provide you an online platform just like a notepad or so, where you have to write down all the answer to your problem statement. So it is not like you will get an IDE or a Visual Studio to run or compile your code. It is totally a notepad where you have to write everything. But the notepad they provide is also pretty user friendly, because in the notepad you will get all the indentation and all the color changing that will help you at least to understand that whether your code will actually compile or not. So this was the first screening round. And once I was done with my first round, that is the screening round, post that I have asked the interviewer that what is the feedback to my interview. And since this is a screening round, more or less I have seen that the interviewer will tell you that what was the feedback or the mistakes that you have done. So in my case, he told that when I was giving the solution, though we have discussed prior to writing the code that what is the algorithm or the approach that I will be taking, but while I was writing code, I was not verbal enough, means I was not thinking out loud that why I am writing a particular line of code. So remember that whenever you are writing something, so for example you are using a linked list or a queue, at that time you have to keep on telling with your interview, means you have to keep on explaining things that why you are using a queue, why not some different data structure. So each and every lines that you are writing or some logic that you are writing, you have to keep on iterating all those things, and you have to tell your interviewer that what is the thought process behind each and everything that you are doing. Clear? So as I was telling you, the screening round was quite simple because it was a more or less a straightforward question from LeetCode. Now, once you are cleared with the first round of your interview, that is the screening round, thereafter you will get the call for the next three round, that is the 3 DSA round. Now, what is the expectation of this 3 DSA round? So the expectation is all the same. That is, the code that you are submitting to your interviewer should be production ready. There should be no compilation error and there should be no logical error. Now, coming to the main thing, that is what type of question you will be facing in this three round. So believe me, the questions that you will be facing in this 3 DSA round, you have not seen it anywhere. And I'm repeatedly telling you, you have not seen it anywhere, because all the questions that are asked in the Google interview are completely from their database, means they have a huge amount of question in their database, and from there only they will ask you the questions. So whatever the material you are getting from the internet and whatever the flags that this had appeared for the Google interview, all are false. You will not encounter any direct question from Google during this three round of the interview. But the questions will be more or less similar what you will get on the LeetCode. So for example, you have solved one question on LeetCode media. Now when you will be appearing for the interview, the main interview round, you will see that they have combined two to three problem statement together, and they have produced a single question that you have to solve. So it won't be a direct question from the LeetCode or any of the material that is available in the Google. So it will be completely a separate question code base that they use, and from there only they will ask you all the questions. Clear? So the question is, should we not do preparation from the LeetCode? Definitely yes, we have to do it, because until and unless you do not cover all the types of problems that are there in the LeetCode, you cannot solve when they are merged together and they will provide you a particular question. Clear? So going through the solution or going through the problems of the LeetCode is very crucial. I hope this is clear that what are the interview questions you will be facing, or what type of questions you might be getting during this 3 DSA round. Now, what will be the hardness of this problem statement? So you can expect in between the medium to hard interview question. Now, the next important thing is like which my hiring HR told me, that is, when you are actually practicing for the Google interview, means the 3 months or the 2 months that was given to you, at that time try to solve the problems from the LeetCode that are possible from the medium to hard, and try to solve all the questions. Means if you're solving a medium question, try to solve that medium question within a 20 minutes time frame. You should not exceed a 20-minute time window. And why it is so, I will tell you very quickly. So as I was telling you, all the questions that you are solving for the Google from LeetCode, that is the medium to hard, you should be able to give the solution within 20 to 25 minutes maximum. And all the solution that you are providing should be as optimal as possible, because whatever the questions that you will be facing on these 3 rounds of interview will have an optimal solution of order of n or order of log n. There will be no solution that goes on order of n square or n cube. So even if you are able to solve any of the LeetCode problem in order of n square, think twice whether there is any solution below that, because it is expected that within the 20 minute of time frame that you will be giving the interview, within that time frame you will be giving the optimized solution as much as possible. So there can be some auxiliary space. For example, you are using some data structure to store some data, for example, in the dynamic programming or for recursion. That is fine, but the complexity of the solution should be as nominal as possible. I hope I'm clear with what is the expectation over here. Now, there is one more important thing, that is, as I was telling you, you have to solve the question within 20 minutes. And the reason behind that, that is, once you give the solution within 20 minutes, the interviewer will give you another 5 minutes to run few of the input and the output statement. Means you have to generate your own input statement, and based on that the respective solution should come. So you have to explain your interview within that 5 minutes that how your algorithm will work. And once you are done with this process within 35 minutes, suppose that you will be facing one or two more follow-up questions. So very likely, for example, you have appeared for your Google interview and you have seen that you have given the solution within the 45-minute time window, but you have not cleared the interview. The reason behind that, there were two follow-up questions that also should have been asked within that time frame. So the basic expectation is, whenever you are appearing for the Google interview, the first question that your interviewer is giving, you should be solving that within 30 minutes, and thereafter you will be asked one more follow-up question and you should be able to answer that too. Because based on that, the interviewer will give the rating or the feedback after your interview process. So let me just tell you what are the possible feedback you can receive from your interviewer. So your interviewer won't tell you exactly what is the possible feedback, but you will get to know from your hiring HR that what was the feedback you have received from your earlier interview. So the first possible feedback that you will get, that is a no hire. That is, if you are not able to solve the question that he have given and you are not able to solve within that timeline, and if you have not given the optimal solution, it will be a clear no hire from the interview. Now, in case you are able to give the solution to the problem that he have given and you have given the most optimized solution and you have given some of the dry runs and you have verified your code with few of the inputs output and you have given a good expectation and you have explained your code nicely, then the next rating that you will be getting is a lean hire. Means there is a chance that you are a good candidate, but it will be a lean hire. It is still not a hiring stage. Clear? Now, once you are done with lean hire, means you have given the solution, then the first follow-up question will come. And the follow-up question which you will be receiving is more or less a modified version of the same problem. Means based on the solution that you will be providing, he will be giving you some enhancement that you have to do, and it is quite doable within a 10 to 7 minute window. So if you are able to give that solution too, then he will mark you as hired. Means this candidate is good and fit for hire. And once you are done with this also, there is one more follow-up question that he will be having, and that is a crucial one because that question is not something that you have to write the code, because the next follow-up question that you will be facing, there will be some more optimization that you can do with that solution, and if you are able to give that solution too, then you will get a strong hire. Means this candidate is very good. Hence, once you give a particular interview, there are possible four type of rating you can get. One is a no hire, one is a lean hire, one is a hire, and another is a strong hire. Clear? So these are a possible expectation and possible rating which you will get based on how you appear or how you solve the problem. I hope you are clear with what is the expectation on each and every round over here. So all the 3 days round that you are seeing over here have more or less the same principle. That is, you give a solution, then you optimize it, then you expect a follow-up question, and if you're able to give the solution, there will be one more follow-up question which will determine whether you are a lean hire or a strong hire. I hope this clears that how this 3 interview round will take place. Clear? Now, if you cleared all these things, then you will get the fourth round of the interview, and that is the system designing round. And in the system designing round, as I was telling you, and as you have seen all my system designing interview round, this will be a complete open-ended question where your interviewer will give you a single line or a single statement, means design Google Drive or design some OTT platform. So he will be giving you a complete vague statement that designs something. And then at that time, you have to discuss completely with your interviewer that which are the possible requirement that he wants you to solve. So it is completely a discussion round where you have to keep on asking your interviewer that what are the requirements that you should go through, what are the non-functional requirements you should go through, and all these things. And if you are following my system designing playlist, exactly you have to do the same thing, and I am telling you because I have cleared the round and I know what is the expectation over there. Now, as you know, the system designing is a huge thing, so you can expect any question from across the internet. There is no end to this system designing. Now, once you complete this system designing round, you will be facing the last round of interview, and that is the googliness round, where you will be asking few of the hypothetical questions like how you will be managing the team conflict, or if there is some hypothetical situation comes, how you will be handling those scenarios. So all those type of questions you will be expected to answer at that time. I hope you are right now clear with that what is the expectation on each and every Google round and how you should face everything. Now, coming to the resource that you should follow before appearing over here. So if you are appearing for the DSA round, as I was telling you, you cannot expect any question that will come directly from any question that is available in the Google or in the LeetCode. But there will be some flavor change on those questions that you are solving on the LeetCode platform. Now, coming to what are the questions that you should solve. So, very frankly, if you are appearing for the Google round, LeetCode is enough because it is a waste of time if you are keep on browsing over the internet and solving thousands of questions of same pattern. Because here the pattern of the question that you are solving actually matters. So the more type or more variety or pattern of question that you are solving, that is beneficial for you. Means the count or the number of questions you are solving doesn't matter. It is like what are the various type of questions that you have solved actually matters, because in the real interview they will combine two to three variations of question and they will club it into a single question and they will ask you the same. I hope this is clear that how you should practice during your practice session before appearing for this Google interview round. And one more important question that I mostly face from my fellow mates, that is, should we go for the LeetCode premium membership or not? So very frankly telling, I have taken the membership for 1 month and I have seen that it is not that much beneficial to take a premium subscription, because if you're going with the premium subscription you will get some of the enhancement, like you will get a debugging session, you will get some more questions, or you will get a timer. All these things you will get on the premium membership. But if you want, you can easily take this membership, but honestly that is not required. But just for saving a few thousands of rupees, do not think like I will not take the course. It is totally your choice whether you want to take the course or not, because if you easily understand that if you just clear the interview round just by spending 2 to 3,000, it is a huge ROI for you. So it is totally your call that whether you want to take the premium membership or not. But if you do not want to take the premium membership, my guidance would be go through all the solutions that are there in the discussion of the LeetCode, because in most of the time all the good solutions are already there in the discussion. So if you just scan through the discussion phase or the discussion panel of each and every question, you will get to know that how each and every question can be solved in the most optimized way. So I think that is enough, or enough help document that you need for appearing to the Google interview. I hope I'm clear with that for TSA and Algo, what are the possible resources you should take up and what are the things that you should follow before appearing this interview. Now coming to the system designing round, I'm not giving a promotion or anything, but if you just go through my videos, that is the 19 or 20 videos that I have hosted till now, that is more than enough, because system designing is not that much fast. It is like a same concept that you have to keep on iterating and you have to adjust it somewhere. So go through all my videos, you will get to know that how everything is working over there, and possibly you will be very much confident to solve any problem during your system designing round. Clear? Now coming to the googliness round, that is completely depends on you that what is your intuition or how you want to solve a particular problem. There is no help document or anything that is available, or whatever the documents that are available on the Google or anything that is quite enough to solve any problem. I hope right now you are clear with how you should face all the interview process in the Google. Now coming to the next thing, and that is how you should go with the Microsoft interview process. Now coming to the Microsoft interview process, this is actually quite easy with respect to the Google, because if you have already practiced for the Google interview, this will be a bread and butter for you, because before appearing for my Microsoft interview I have already cleared my Google round, so I was already fully prepared for any type of interview. So for the Microsoft interview I do not have to do much preparation. But let me tell you what are the expectation or what are the type of questions that you can expect over here. So coming to the first round of the interview, that is the screening round. And in the screening round, this will be completely a question that you have to solve on the HackerRank platform. And if you see, the question that you will be facing on the HackerRank platform is quite a hard level, means it is not that much easy. I would like to say that the question that you will get on the first round of interview, that is on the screening round, is pretty hard. than the question that you will be getting on the next round of the interview. So be prepared that the screening round that you will be getting over here will be quite harder. And in this round, you will be getting two questions. One is a medium one and one is a harder one. And in both the question, there will be 20 test cases that will get run. And I believe you have to clear all the 20 unit test case to clear this round of the interview. I'm actually not sure that how many test case need to pass to clear this round, but I hope it is all the 20 test case that you have to pass. And while I was giving my interview, I have passed all the 20 questions, and that is why I was called for the next round of the interview, that is the interview 1, that is the DSA round. And the question that you will be facing in this DSA round is quite similar that you will be solving in the LeetCode. It will be a small variation of the LeetCode, not the direct question, but the question that you will be receiving on this round will be very much similar to the LeetCode question. So if you are solving most of the questions on the LeetCode on the medium section, you will possibly get a same question over here. Now coming to the second interview round, that is the LLD one. Here in the LLD round, the interviewer will give you a problem statement and you have to solve the problem based on some design principle. So if you know, in our system design, we have some design principle like observer design pattern, factory design pattern, chain of responsibility. So there are about 8 to 10 design patterns that we have in our software engineering, and based on those principles only you have to solve this LLD round. So in the LLD round, this will be complete machine level round where you have to give the solution based on some of the principle and your code should run. So unlike Google where they will be giving you a doc to write the code, here in Microsoft they will give you a compiler, browser compiler where you have to write down the code and provide the solution. Clear? Now, if you are appearing for a senior software engineer role or higher, once you give the solution, there will be few more follow-up questions, that is how you can optimize it even further or some other follow-up questions. So during my interview, what happened is like once I have given a solution following one of the design pattern, the interviewer have given a second follow-up question, and to solve that second follow-up question there was another design pattern that I had to introduce. So the final solution that I had provided was combined with two design pattern all combined together. Clear? Now, once you are done with your LLD round, you will get the HLD round where the question will be pretty much the same. Means how you have appeared for your HLD round for the Google. Means it will be an open question, means design Uber or design Ola, and based on the discussion you have to get the requirement and provide the interviewer with the solution. And here also I will be telling you my question set or my videos are more than enough. Now, once you clear all these things, comes the hiring manager, which is only a verbal discussion round with your hiring manager, that what are the platform or what are the things that you have worked on or what are the technologies that you are working on right now or how you have optimized it even further in the production, or few of the technical questions you will be facing in this hiring manager round. I hope you are clear with right now that how and what is the expectation on all the rounds of the Microsoft interview process. I hope you have got a thorough idea that what are the resources you should use, what are the expectation on each and every round, and how you should prepare. Now coming to me, that what is the present status. So when I'm recording this video means right now, I have an offer letter from Microsoft, and for Google there is one more round that is still pending, and that is the team matching round. Means though I have cleared all this round of interview, but after that the Google what they does, they will keep you in a pool of selected candidates, and from there the hiring manager will call you up, that is that you are fit for that team, and there will be discussion between the you as well as the hiring manager that whether you want to proceed with that role and whether you want to join their team or not. So that process can take a lot of time, starting from 2 weeks to 6 to 12 months. So that is a huge time. The entire process of team matching can take place. So my hiring HR told me that you have already cleared all this round and right now you are in the pool of team matching where your hiring manager will call you up or something will happen. So I'm not sure that what is the next step that will be coming going further, because this last step I'm still not done yet. So this is the last team matching that round that is still pending for me, though I have cleared all the round of the interview. So I have the offer letter from the Microsoft and I have cleared all the round of the Google, but I don't have the offer letter till now. So that is right now the status of me as of today's date. So I hope you have thoroughly liked this video and you have found this video useful. And if you have found this video useful, I would like to say you one more thing. That is, even after practicing for days, weeks, or even for months, it might can happen that you are not able to clear or getting a call for the interview. At that time, do not lose hope. Just keep on practicing and be consistent with whatever you are doing, because consistency is the key to success. So just keep on practicing all the interview question and just keep on revising everything, because at the end of the day, it is not the hard work that matters, it is also the destiny that matters. So just believe on the God's plan that someday, which might not be tomorrow, but someday you will definitely clear the interview or get the job that you are looking for. So it's my humble request, just dream big and stay positive, because
कब कभी ना बड़ी बात कह देनी चाहिए, ऊपर वाला देख रहा होता है, आप जैसे कहते हो ना वैसे ही होता है, उसी को तथास्तु कहते हैं। बहुत मेहनत करना, क्योंकि बहुत मेहनत करने से हो जाता है, मैंने करके देख लिया है, हो जाएगा। हर बार जिंदगी में आपके पड़ाव आएगा जब आप आपको लगता है कि डेवलप करना पड़ेगा, है ना, और आप अपने वजन से 10 गुना ज्यादा उठा लेते हो और वो आपकी एक एक हड्डी तोड़ देता है और आपके आसपास के लोगों को दिख रहा होता है, जो लोग आपसे मोहब्बत करते हैं कि ज्यादा कर लिया इस बार। कई बार आप उठा पाते हो, कई बार छूट जाता है आपके हाथ से। लेट द रिकॉर्ड शो दैट आई टुक द ब्लो, कि हाँ जब बेइज्जती हुई, अपमान हुआ, तब भी वो भी बिल्कुल हक से चेहरे पे खाया। बट इन द एंड लेट मी से, नॉट इन अ शाय वे, आई डिड इट माय वे।
वाओ यार,
कि कोई बात नहीं, शर्मा के नहीं कह रहे हैं भाई साहब, जैसे भी किया, जो भी किया, जहां तक भी पहुंचे, जहां भी आए, अपने दिल से किया, मर्जी से किया और हक से किया।